Here in Malawi, somewhere again. Today we'll talk about the leadership in our country, Malawi. How have we, in the space of the years that we have had independence as a country, benefited from this change of leadership that we've had over the number of years since our independence? So Malawi actually broke out of the British colonial rulership in 1964, but it became a republic in 1966. And we know that the influence that inspired that breakage from the British monarchy resided into the first president of Malawi, who was the late Dr. KAMUZU, BANDA, who later on ruled Malawi for about 30 years until he wasn't well and prior to his death. Then we are seeing that from that there was a change that came after that, and that was the leadership of one of the members of the same party, which was the Malawi Congress Party, who was a governor, a politician, who was not really popular amongst the circles of the people at that moment in MCP, because he came from a different political region, of which up to today we're still dealing with this tribalistic characters that are affecting a lot of developments in our country, Malawi. But this individual ended up becoming the first leader after multi-party democracy, who is also BAKILI MULUZI, who is pioneered as a champion and a pioneer in terms of multi-party democracy. So Elson BAKILI MULUZI, that's from 1994, took over the leadership of Malawi as a nation. And you have to understand, he took this leadership under the umbrella of a political party that was known as United Democratic Front, which is UDF. But if you look back, you see that he wasn't actually the founder of this party. There were other people who actually instituted this particular revolt from MCP. So most of these people were already affiliated with KAMUZU BANDA, and some were even involved in the struggle for independence and freedom in our nation. So we're talking about the likes of BANDA, and not forgetting the successor of BAKILI MULUZI, who's the late Dr. Bingu Mutharika. So he took over leadership of UDF. It is known from the circles that actually in the beginning, Bingu Mutharika and others were the ones who were funding the beginning and who created the manifesto of this party of UDF. But they selected somebody who was popular, who was basically BAKILI MULUZI, to lead them with this particular ideology that they will bring a multi-party democracy and certain particular changes which were in their manifesto. So BAKILI MULUZI took over from 1994. We saw a lot of changes, some which were better, but he was faced with a lot of criticism in terms of his approach towards privatization and governance. And also there was a rampant, once in Malawi there was a rampant growth in issues of violence, political violence and crime. He was also popular for distribution of money for campaign in his political rallies, which was basically the creating of cash by the central bank that somehow affected the strength of the currency. But in 2004, Dr. BAKILI MULUZI ended up, because by this time people were tired, people wanted him out, and he was bidding for another term, like a third term. But he had to make a decision. And so they made a decision to pick one of the founders of UDF, which is Bingu Mutharika, to take over the party and secure their interest in this particular sense. So Bingu Mutharika was actually born through that particular situation. So after Dr. Elson BAKILI MULUZI realized that he was facing a lot of backlash and people didn't really want him to continue with the leadership, he picked one of the founders, who was known as Bingu Mutharika,